Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So with it being Thanksgiving today and it's coming up to Christmas, I thought there's going to be lots of people possibly going out tomorrow to buy a Switch for maybe their children or partners or anything like that. So I thought let's make a buyer's guide as to what the best options are for you if you have no idea what you're buying, so that you don't waste any money and you get the most you can with that money if you are looking to buy a new Switch. So let's take a look at what you need to buy if you're a new Switch owner or if you're buying a Switch for Christmas. Okay, upside down. Okay, so what to go for first? Obviously, I'm not including the Switch Lite in this. I'm just going to go for the V2 or the OLED because I think they're the two ones we're going to be focusing on for this video because of all the accessories and things like that. This is the V1 model, but for the purposes of this video I'll be talking about it like it's the V2 model. Okay, so obviously already Nintendo did discount the V2 model, what was it, about 4 or 5 weeks ago now, so that price point went to about £50 difference. I have seen some offers on the Nintendo UK store, which I assume is probably worldwide as well. I need to just double check, but you can pick this up for £259 with a 3-month online pass and also Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as well. So you are getting quite a lot there for your money. The OLED, obviously basic model, comes in at £310, so it's going to be a little bit more. Obviously you don't get anything with that, you're just getting the OLED model. So that's your choices. You're going for obviously the V2 or the OLED. So there's a couple of variations there that we'll talk about now. So let's have a little chat about those. Okay, so obviously if you're doing this as a surprise, it might be a little bit difficult to purchase obviously as a surprise if you're trying to ask these sorts of questions, but I've got to say if you've got no budget and you can, you've got the money to spend, just go directly down the OLED route. If you can pick one of these up, go directly down the OLED route. Lovely screen, battery life is the same as the V2, but you are getting a really good improved screen, as well as obviously that epic kickstand as well compared to the V2 model and the V1 model. But what you need to find out is, are they going to be playing mainly in handheld mode? If you've got quite a restricted budget, if they're never ever going to take this out of the dock, if this stays in the dock all the time, you're never playing it away from the TV, it never goes anywhere else, you might want to avoid this. I'd always go for this model anyway, but again, if you've got that budget and you know they're never going to take it out of the dock, there's no point spending the extra money on here. You might as well spend that money on an extra game, accessory, because whatever you're seeing is going to be on the TV, it's never going to obviously be in this handheld mode. So that's obviously the option there, is if you're going to get a handheld, if you're a handheld gamer or you're buying it for a handheld gamer, I think you've got to go down the OLED route. So that's obviously one thing to bear in mind if you're going to buy this. The V2 model, obviously you're not going to get the same screen as the OLED, so obviously if it's going to be mainly used in handheld mode, you're not going to enjoy it probably as much, so that's where you need to spend that extra money and get the OLED. Obviously budget wise, I think that Nintendo are probably going to start to reduce this more, or you'll see shops throwing games in with this. So I think, like I say, if you're playing this on the TV, if it's never going to leave the dock, I would just pick this up, see what you can find with it. Like I say, already you can get Mario Kart and the online subscription for $259, which is a great price. I think it's worth going and exploring, obviously, Game, Smiths, Argos, because I think they will probably start to add a few games in with this as well, because I think the OLED is the new flagship model, so I think you'll probably see a lot of these discounted. So that's obviously one thing to bear in mind. If you're on a budget, you'll be able to pick up more stuff with this, you'll get more games, particularly in those Black Friday deals as well. It's the most searched thing on the internet at the moment is Nintendo Switch Black Friday deals, so do keep an eye out on them. but like I say, if you're going to be playing in handheld mode, pay that extra money, get the OLED, you will not regret it. Okay, first thing you need to buy is a screen protector. So this is the iVolva V-Guard screen protector. You actually get 4 in here. I paid £15 for this. You get 4 in here. So if you know a couple of other people who are buying the Switch, this is just for the OLED model, by the way. If you know they're buying the Switch as well, maybe just split the price, because you get 4 in here. Really, really great screen protector. Before you let your kids play with it, or whoever it is, particularly if it's going to be out of that dock a lot, you've got to get that tempered glass screen protector. That's what I'd recommend, the iVolva V-Guard. Get one of them on it straight away. What's next? So, cases, okay? So there's a couple of different options. So I'm just going to put that one down for a second, just so you can see here. So this is a very, very thin case. This is the Splatoon case. It's not that thick. It's quite a small case as well. There's maybe a little bit of space in there for a couple of games. This is from the Nintendo official website. Paid around £20 for that. I'm not sure if you can actually get them anymore. But what I'm sort of suggesting is avoid these sleeve type cases. It doesn't offer that much protection. Really all you're getting there is a bit more protection for the screen. That will get damaged. If that goes in a bag or something like that, that's going to get damaged quite quickly. So I'm suggesting you ignore these kind of sleeve type cases. I wouldn't recommend them. What I recommend is, just let me put that one down, is going for something like this. So it is much bigger, but you can hear that it's a lot thicker, it's a lot stronger. You can store extra things in there. So at the moment I've got some extra games, I got my charging cord in there as well. You can get probably a couple of Joy-Cons in there as well. This does fit the OLED model. This was actually just from Game. So this is what you should be looking out for. If you're going to pick up a case, go for a slightly bigger case. Just make sure it's really strong. You can see obviously the size difference there with the sleeve. It's obviously, you know, it's much slimmer, but you just don't get as much protection. So yeah, if you're going to go for a case, go for one of those bigger cases rather than the sleeves. So that's what I'm going to recommend for the cases. At the start of the video, I obviously talked about, are they going to be handheld players or are they going to be playing mainly on the TV? Because accessories wise, it's going to depend what they're doing. So these split pads are absolutely fantastic. I've got full reviews and unboxings of both of these on the channel, so you can go and have a look at those. If you are a handheld gamer, these split pads are absolutely brilliant. They basically slide on like Joy-Cons and you get a full-size controller as you're playing. There's a few obviously negatives. You don't get the HD rumble, and you can't use them off screen. You can only use them sliding on, so you can't play in docked mode using the split pad. But for me, I'm predominantly a handheld player. You've got to pick the Hori Split Pad Pro up. You can get so many different ones. I mean, that's the red one. That's the cheapest at £35 on Amazon, that is at the moment. You do get obviously the more limited edition ones. That's about £42 Pokemon at the moment. I'm sure there's an Animal Crossing one. There's other Pokemon ones. There's various colours. But yeah, the Split Pad Pro, if you're a handheld gamer, it's a must-have accessory. It's a great present for anyone who's looking for an accessory to buy someone for the Switch. But obviously if you're going into docked mode and you're playing predominantly in dock mode, obviously you've got the Nintendo Pro controller. I don't really use mine because it's always in handheld mode, so I don't really get to use this anymore. I did put a lot of hours in on Splatoon when I was playing with it on the TV. So like I say, if they are TV players, the split pad, sorry, not the split pad, the Pro Controller, that's the must have accessory for TV players. The split pad is your must have accessory for any handheld gamers. So there you go, there's the two side by side. That's obviously coming in about £59.99. The red split pad is £32 at the moment, I believe, on Amazon. It's either 32 or 35. I can't quite remember what I just said, but yeah, it's about 32 or 35 pounds. So quite a big difference there, depending who is going to be buying it and who is using it. So that's your accessories dealt with. So just the final thing for today about what you need to buy, so it's ready to play with straight out of the box. Memory card. So that's obviously, I just found that. That's probably quite an old one. That's just an old 32 gig micro SD. My recommendation is to avoid Amazon. I've never bought a memory card off Amazon, but I'm part of a lot of Nintendo groups on Facebook, and it's just constant one after the other. Oh, I bought this memory card, it's not working. Oh, I bought this memory card, it's not working. So I do believe there's quite a big fake market out there on Amazon. Best thing to do, I've got a PNY memory card in the OLED, and I've got a SanDisk memory card in my old Switch. Go to Currys or Argos, however much you've got to spend, use that amount of money and get the biggest memory card possible, because they are a bit of a pain to swap over. Get the biggest memory card you can. That way, if there's any issues whatsoever, all you've got to do, go back to the shop and you can obviously get a refund or exchange it. Obviously, trying to do that on Amazon, it's a little bit of a pain. And then even if you get the exchange card, you're never quite sure if it's going to work. So just go and buy the biggest micro SD card you can from Currys or Argos. I use PNY, SanDisk, they're all pretty good. You're not going to get any dodgy ones from those sorts of places, so that's what I would recommend. So that's everything for today. Hopefully that's quite a long video. I think it's over 10 minutes long. Obviously there's a lot to take in there, which model to pick up, which accessories to buy, which memory cards to buy. Hopefully that's given you quite a quick explanation, and hopefully you have a great Christmas if you are buying a Switch. So thanks a lot for watching. If you're new to the channel, obviously subscribe. Don't forget to hit that like button, and if you can recommend me any accessories or any games or anything like that of what to put on my Christmas list, let me know in the comments below. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. So thanks a lot for watching. Take care, guys. See you soon.